When I was a kid, my grandmother had these CDs. And I want to be clear, that meant certificate of deposit, not a compact disc. And these CDs, she had one for each of the grandkids, me, my brother, and our two cousins. And every year when the interest came due, she would give that money to us. It was what she would call rainy day money. And it was not a lot of money. I think each CD might have been $1,000, so maybe the interest was 40. Math, again, not my skill set. But I remember like every January, February, she would be like, just put this in your pocket. And I think it was about $40, which of course I spent on CDs. Compact discs, not certificates of deposit. And when my grandmother died, those 4 CDs were turned into savings accounts, one for each of us. So it was about $1,000 in the bank for us. I was in my mid-20s when she passed. And I liked knowing it was there, and I liked knowing it was from her. I was making good money at the time. I didn't need it, and I knew that my grandmother would want me to use it for some rainy day need or want, rainy days. So the first year I was meticulous with my taxes, and I got the little interest 1099. It was very small. I probably didn't even need to report it, but I was meticulous with my taxes, and so fine. The next year, the 1099 interest form didn't show up. And again, I probably didn't even need to report it, but something didn't feel right. And I was living in New York City, but I went home to celebrate my dad's birthday for a long weekend. And I said to him, hey, that interest form hasn't, did it show up here? I can't remember if it's supposed to come to me in New York or if it's still here at home. And he said, oh, yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it. I was like, okay. And then the weekend went on, and he didn't get it. And I was like, hey, I need that interest. I'm flying back tomorrow. I want to do my taxes when I get back to New York. And he said, yeah, I don't actually think it came yet. And I was like, but yesterday you said you'd get it for me, and now you're saying it. It's like, okay, fine. We celebrate his birthday. We are now on our way to the airport. Me, my mom, and my dad, they're taking me to the airport to drop me off. And my dad says, oh, I want to get you hat and gloves. We should stop at Target. And I was like, God, I just want my interest form. I don't need hat and gloves, but whatever. And we go into Target. My dad gets me separated from my mom, and that is where he tells me that there is no interest form because there is no account because it is closed. And he thinks I won't make a scene in public. Which, to be fair, that day I did not. But I was like, what do you mean it's not there? And he said, well, that was never really your money. That was, money left for us to, take care of your grandfather. And I was like, no, that's actually not. It's in my name, and I got the interest document last year, and that's my money. So it's not really your money. And I was like, okay, we're not going to do this in Target. So he buys me this hat and gloves. He puts me on the plane to New York, and the next morning I get to work, and I call the bank, and I was like, hey, so this account doesn't exist anymore? And they were like, yeah, it was closed, and they gave me the date. And I was like, but I wasn't in Pittsburgh on that date. How could that be closed? And they said, well, we have all the paperwork. I said, okay. So I call my brother in California and my cousins in Boston, and I say, hey, can you call the bank and find out if those accounts still exist? And they didn't. And I said, so did you guys close those accounts? And my cousins told me that the last time they saw my dad, he had them sign some paperwork, and they didn't really pay a lot of attention to it. And honestly, they knew my dad well enough to know that something shitty was happening, but they weren't going to fight with him about it. And I called my brother, and my brother's like, I legit have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. So I said, listen, get them to fax you the opening paperwork and the closing paperwork. They won't fax it to me. I got mine faxed to me. My brother got his faxed to him. So keep in mind that my cousins both opened their account and closed their account. My brother neither opened his account nor closed his account, so those signatures matched. They were both my dad's. I opened my account, but I did not close my account. So when they faxed me the paperwork, it was very clear to me that one of these was my signature and one was not. But it was only true for me. And so I called the bank and I was like, thanks so much for sending the paperwork. Did any of you look at it before you sent it to me? Because, like, those signatures don't match. And they were like, oh, okay. So you have 24 hours to tell us whether you want to keep this in the family or if we should call the police. And that was a really bad 24 hours, really bad. And the next day I got to work because banking hours, I had to take care of it during the day. And I called the bank and I told them that we were going to keep it in the family. And that afternoon, my husband sent me flowers at work, and he's my family now.